Hey everyone, and welcome to our lesson on transformations. When we talk about a transformation, we're talking about things that change our figures. So if we're looking at a figure on a graph, that figure from one to the next image may be moved or turned, or it may even change in size. But the three transformations that we're going to talk about today do not change the size of our shape. They're just going to move it to a new location or turn it or flip it in some way. So let's take a look. Three types we're looking at today are translations, rotations, and reflections. The first one is called a translation, and that simply just slides our figure to a different location on the coordinate grid. We can have a vertical slide, a horizontal slide, or even a diagonal slide, but anytime our figure is just simply sliding, we're going to call that a translation. We're translating it to a different location. So let's take a look at these figures. If this were my first image, and then this were my final image, it looks like each of these coordinates, each of these vertices, have been moved over 6 units to the right. So we have slid our figure 6 units over to the right. And in math, a lot of times they'll call the first image the pre-image. This is the pre-image. And the final image is just the image. So from pre-image to final image. This one has moved over 6 units to the right. So to look at that in the coordinates, what will happen is each of the vertices will go from a coordinate of xy, whatever they are, to x plus 6y. Each one will be moved over 6. So this adds 6 to our x coordinate. So let's go back and take a look at that. Just for instance, one of these coordinates is located at -4, 5, okay? And then this one over here, its final spot over here on the image is at 2, 5. So you can see that from -4, 5 to 2, 5, we did add 6 to that x coordinate and arrive at 2. Alright, our next transformation is called a rotation, and that is simply just some kind of turn on our figure. Now you can rotate figures any amount of degrees in any direction. Oftentimes you'll be looking at a 90 or 180 or 270 degree rotation, something like that. So to do this is a picture of what it'll look like, and we're going to take a look and see what happens to the coordinates. Let's look at a 90 degrees clockwise rotation, for instance. If you're taking a figure and you're rotating it 90 degrees clockwise, what's going to happen is each xy coordinate is going to become y negative x instead. So they're getting switched and the x is being negated. And that's just a 90 degree rotation. Different things will happen depending on the type of rotation you're dealing with. So let's take a look at how this affected our picture. Alright, remember, this is a 90 degree rotation. So each coordinate from pre-image to image should change in this way, from xy to y negative x. So let's take a look, just see how that affected our picture. So one of these vertices, located here at the bottom, is at -1, 3. So its new image location should be at 3, +1 if we perform this change right here, the y negative x. Okay, so let's find that point over here at 3, 1. That is his matching image coordinate over there. And if we took all these vertices on the pre-image, we would find that they do have a match over here on the image. Alright, our last transformation is called a reflection, and that's what it sounds like. It's just some type of flip on our figure. We can reflect our shapes horizontally or vertically in either one of those directions, and here's an example of both of those. Okay. This one over here on the left would be a vertical reflection, and this one is horizontal. And this is how the coordinates are affected. When we talk about an x-axis reflection, each coordinate will go from xy to x negative y. So the y is being negated there. And if we're talking about a y direction reflection, then we're actually going to negate the x when each point is taken from the preimage to the image. Alright, and this concludes our lesson on transformations.